What's up guys, Magic Knives here, and in today's video I'm bringing to you some more AO Tennis 2 gameplay. This is part 6 of my match as Kyrgios versus Daniil Medvedev. I will tell you it's a pretty long game. Hasn't been this long since my match as Kyrgios versus Andy Murray, so there will be quite a few parts to this match, unfortunately, but hopefully you guys are enjoying it either way. And in addition, guys, hopefully you guys you're doing well and safe. Things here in Ontario are starting to get a little better. The restrictions are easing up now, partially due to the mass protests that are happening all across Canada due to the vaccine mandate against the truckers and things like that, and hence it led to the truck a blockage and the like, and then spiraled out of control with the anti-vaccine protests and stuff like that. So I mean, it is what it is, and I mean, things are getting a bit better, so we think like capacities are widening, getting bigger as well. Soon we will not need to worry about like having to show proof of vaccination to certain places and things like that, coming around like March 1st, so that'll be pretty nice. So, and yeah, but speaking of vaccines and mandates, we are talking once again about Novak Djokovic, because as you probably know, as of recently, he has become big headlines with the world news and sporting news in general, because when the Australian Open was back in January, big news about Novak Djokovic not being vaccinated, and with Australia having a very strict vaccine requirement for anybody outside of their country, he was eventually, even though he almost had a chance to play the Australian Open, he was eventually banned and deported out of Australia because he was not vaccinated at all. And I mean, he's already had COVID twice in total so far, and like in the end, like, he is now potentially not as of recently, after the incident with the Australian Open, the French Open and France in general is also increasing its laws as far as vaccine mandate goes, because now anybody outside of France is also required to be vaccinated. Otherwise, they are not allowed to enter the country. So this potentially means that that Novak Djokovic will also not be allowed to compete in the French Open, and the same could possibly go for the Wimbledon Grand Slam, and possibly even the US, because the US does also have strict requirements of anybody entering in their country that's foreign to be vaccinated. So this could mean Novak Djokovic could miss out the entire year of all the Grand Slams if he does not get vaccinated. So you would think that for somebody smart and cares enough about winning and trying to become the greatest of all time, that they would just suck up to it and get vaccinated. But you'd be wrong. Novak Djokovic just recently, for the first time since the whole Australian Open incident, did a press conference talking about the whole situation of him in Australia when he was dealing with the whole thing. He talked about what went down and his experience, his side of the whole experience and everything like that. And he straight out said in the press conference that he refuses to get vaccinated. and he is willing to miss out all the Grand Slams if they require a vaccine, if they have a vaccine mandate. Pretty crazy, right? I mean, even despite everything that he had to go through, and the fact that he is potentially the greatest of all time in tennis right now that is alive, and that for something that is such a world crisis right now, and whatnot, he is still refusing to get vaccinated, even with the extreme circumstances of him not being able to compete in the biggest tennis tournaments in the world. And honestly, I'm less annoyed and upset, and more so disappointed, honestly, because even though I'm not a big fan of Djokovic, and I don't respect him, and I don't like him, and because of some of his not so good histories and past, and just attitude in general on the court, I do want him to be wake up and be able to play, but at the same time I do want him to respect the fact that every other player has gotten vaccinated except him. And he even says in the press conference that he's nothing against vaccines and stuff like that, because he apparently says he has taken vaccines in the past. He's not an anti-vaxxer per se, but he does say that he believes very strongly in having the freedom and right to choose what you want to put in your own body. And I mean, here's the thing. I am a libertarian believer myself, so I do agree that you do have a right to put whatever you want in your own body. That said, when it comes to the fact that I don't believe that when it comes to a world crisis like this, right, there are going to be rules and circumstances where it's about the health and safety of those around you. So I mean, and when there's proof of vaccinations required in these circumstances, and health is such a important thing right now, and as far as minimizing spread of COVID, in the end, what do you care more about? Do you care more about actually proving yourself to be the greatest of all time and winning more Grand Slam majors, or you'd simply care more about rebelling against the fact that there's a world crisis right now, and trying to stand against not getting vaccinated? What is it, right? Clearly, I'm shocked, and I'm really disappointed to see the fact that Djokovic cares more about about staying unvaccinated over winning more Grand Slams and proving himself to be the greatest of all time. It's really disappointing to me that he would go this far, and he is really letting down his fans. That's the number one thing here. He is really letting down his fans, because they obviously want to see him play. But right now, with the way it is, I respect all the tournaments that are withholding to this vaccine mandate, if they do. And I don't know. I really am disappointed that Djokovic would go this far to not allow himself to prove himself and play against the greatest of all times, like Federer, Nadal. That's just open up the window for Nadal and Federer, which obviously I do respect much more, way more than I do with Novak at this point. So that's my thoughts. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and hope to see you guys in my future videos. Take it easy, guys.